Hello everyone, welcome back to the Arsenal Pass YouTube channel. Hayden here with Brendan, and we're back with some gameplay. Haven't done a gameplay video in a while, so ProQuest Season 3 is starting up this weekend, and Brendan, you are playing ProQuest, so we thought we'd jump into a bit of testing. A little bit different to maybe some of the gameplays you've seen us do previously. We're just going to play a game as we would any kind of testing and talk through a bit of our lines, but it's going to be a little bit less informal than maybe you've seen in the past, right, Brendan?
Yeah. I mean, this is the deck that I'm like 95% locked on this for the next weekend. I mean, Iyslander is a deck I can't find an excuse, to sort of not play it in this meta. Just feels like the best deck, very well-rounded, and very good into a somewhat unknown meta, which is what ProQuest Week 1 will be. Yep,
cool. Well, I'm on Dash. This is the Dash deck I've been playing for the last few weeks. Into this matchup, we do play a pistol, so it doesn't play the crankshaft hyperdriver sort of Hanabi blaster build, but you get to see kind of what this core looks like and what this matchup looks like, and we think it's a pretty important matchup going into this weekend, and probably the whole ProQuest season, so we're going to jump in. Brendan, why don't you I'm going to sort my side, but why don't you talk a little bit about what you've kind of cut for this matchup? What do you think is important into when you're playing as Iyslander into Dash?
Yeah, so the Dash deck is sort of known to be pretty aggressive. Obviously, they can also be controlling, so you need to not take out some key cards for that. Have opted to take out the amulets because they don't block, so Amulet of Ice. That could be a critical card to help me set up a combo against a more controlling deck. But with that said, the Frost Hex and the Insidious Chills plus the Eternal should be enough. It just might be a little bit harder. So not totally hedged against a very controlling Dash list. I've cut out the Energy Potions and then cut out the blue Brothers in Arms as well. Just looking to have cards that defend first and foremost, and then just the sort of traditional strong Iyslander package, right? Aetherized Veins and everything that goes along with that. Disruption is going to be key against a deck like Dash.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm basically just pulling out the crankshaft hyperdrive we're going to build. So we're going to sideboard up, and then we're going to get into the game. All right, we're basically ready to go. You can see in front of me, this is what's coming out in this matchup. It's a lot of these high-cost cards like Maximum Velocity. It's really hard to get these off against Iyslander when they're disrupting you so much. And then part of this crankshaft package, plus some T-Bones, which are just kind of weaker attacks. And without the Maximum Velocity, we need those less. All right, Brendan, you want odd or even?
I'll take even.
All right, it is. What do you want to do?
I'll go second.
All right, sounds good. I've decided to play the Visiertronic in this matchup. I think I'm really tight on whether you play Crown or not. Brendan, I don't know if you have much thought about what you'd prefer to, or less prefer to face, but I think the 2 damage and the filter when you're playing on the pistol version is a bit less important, and if we get clogged up and Brendan hits back-to-back-to-back sort of disruption turns, then I'd rather have the ability to just pitch my blues into saving my life.
Yeah, so you have AB3, right?
I do have AB3.
I honestly don't have a strong opinion on it because I actually haven't played much against Dash myself.
Well, this is your testing time.
Deck. Yeah, Dash is a deck that reemerged after Dynasty with the upgrades.
Yeah. Don't forget to get your life total up as well.
Oh yeah, let me. I have to use paper. I don't have a phone.
Old school over here. Brendan has his pen and paper. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I switched my camera to my phone for better quality, and I was like, I don't have.
Everyone's going to be happy for the change in quality, though, surely. All right, let's load up these items, and then let's pitch this yellow 0 to 60 and play this Teklo, Pounder, and just pass. So, just a good setup turn. No need to let Brendan filter cards here. He's going to let us go first.
Yeah. Does seem pretty good. Pretty good.
Brendan, what do you think of my nice Arsenal Pass resource token?
I love it. I love it.
Available now on Bad Metal Tokens.
Chill.
Also, definitely Metal Fab tokens every time.
I'm just wondering about the function of this blue Aetherized Vein. Because you do have AB3.
AB3, yes,
so like,
yes. That's another reason I like the Visiertronic, especially if you're going first, I think. Main phase, Channel Lake Frigid. Didn't see many of those.
Really? I feel like it's quite good to main phase it often.
I don't know, I feel like I don't very often. Maybe that's just my experience. Alright, so we know we're going to be playing into Channel Lake Frigid next turn. What's the realistic turn? We want to just go tall if we can. And best way to do that is probably with these. Is Brendan going to give us a frostbite? Who knows? So we could take... I think I like at this stage trying to... I don't think Brendan's got hypothermia. It's fine. All right, I'm going to take 2. 38.
Sure.
Okay, I think...
Yep.
I'm going to pitch this high-speed impact, and we're going to zipper hit boost. I'm always going to start with the damage when I'm playing into Iyslander, because if he does hypothermia, blizzard, etc., I just want to present him with the most damage possible to start with. See a tech low core. So coming in for 7 total.
How many resources?
I have so I have to pay 2 for that, so I have 1 available to me. 3 cards in hand. Yeah, so if you've ever watched some of our previous gameplay we've done, we try and focus more on, I guess, the matchup itself. We're going to focus more on just us getting the reps that we wanted to, like we were testing. We're basically just filming a testing game is how you might look at it. All right, frosting from Arsenal, so I get a frostbite, which I've definitely prepared earlier. So I know if I want to play another attack, I'm going to have to pay some resources.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, oh, Arcane Barrier 1, the Achilles.
Sure. I'm going to block for 3.
Sure. So you have 2 cards in hand? 3 cards, sorry,
3.
because it was 0 cost. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take...
So I'll take 4.
32 plus 38.
34. Yeah. 32.
Right, you're selling 36, right?
Yeah, of course. So
You take 4, yeah?
yeah, math. Come on, dude. Catch up.
All right. You got it.
Relax over there, sir.
Wait, so you're on 32, right?
Yeah, of course. Dude.
Okay, cool. All right, let's just go ahead.
What are you so confused about?
Send some more damage to Brendan. Let's pay 3 for the super hit in total. Coming in for 5. No boost.
Fortunately, I have to take 5.
Yeah. All right.
27.
27. Good math. All right, I'll pass.
Okay.
All right. Thought we're gonna get a
take a
wounded bull in our face here. Pitching an ice card.
Wow.
I wrote the book.
The S card is not enough, though.
No, it's not, because it was a main phase.
Yeah.
All right. I think in this matchup, what I like to do in these kind of in-between turns is like, so we know he's going to have Channel A Frigid, but also he's presenting damage. So like if we didn't block here, took the damage, and then he could disrupt our turn with like a hypothermia or, you know, a blizzard or something that could be pretty painful. So when there's attacks, I often just like to hedge, do a bit of blocking.
Yeah, maybe it was better to play the CLF on your turn. But that being said, I didn't really have any other options on that turn. Yeah. It's all blue hand.
It's hard when you go second into the full cut hand like that. That's probably the time I would play Channel A Frigid main. All right, I'll block for 6, take 2.
Okay.
36 plays 27.
Arsenal.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Again, I want to start with the damage. Start with the haymakers. Well, not really, but T-bone boost. The 060 red coming for 5. You want to hear more about Iyslander? Me and Brendan did podcast last week about Iyslander. Full pod just on Iyslander and Classic Constructed.
Yes, we did. Oh.
That's fine.
I'll block for 3.
Someone's got the red heavy hand. You do have to block a piece of equipment, but you know you can block with that Storm Striders or whatever if you want to.
Yeah.
All right, 25.
Yep.
Let's come in for 2. Pistol.
No blocks.
All right, I've go again. 23.
All right. Yep.
Gonna pitch this super hit blue, load up the items, and then just play Hyperdriver. Pass.
Sure. Remind me what Hyperdriver says.
You haven't watched my deck tech, clearly. Every time you, so first time you boost each turn, remove a steam counter and gain a resource. It's 3 counters.
Alright. Tunic up for me. Go ahead and play I messed this up actually. I'll play Scar for 4.
Thing. Okay, I'm gonna block with a Spark of Genius. Take 1, 35.
Okay. I'm gonna Tunic and peek you. The yellow Ice Vein.
Probably shouldn't have blocked with that Spark, actually. I forgot about peek.
Mm.
Alright, I'll pitch this T-Bone.
Okay. I'll pass.
I think I should just...
IP. Yeah, effectively IP penalty myself, but I'm just like straight up reds.
Yeah, I was like, when you block with the red Ice Vein, I was like, this is a red hand.
Yeesh.
Okay, let's... Yeah. Let's come in for 2 with Tech Lobe. Pistol. Based on the fact that Brendan, like, the cards he pitched, it could be another Channel Lake Frigid, to be honest, or a 3-cost attack. Because he was light on resources and he looked like he was light on ice cards. I think it's important if you're playing as Iyslander, try and work out, based on the way they're playing and pitching, what they're likely to have in Arsenal. Because you do need to try and find your windows to push damage. Which, if I'd kept the Spark, we probably would be able to do this turn.
Put me in a situation.
You know, they do call me Hayden the Situation Daniel.
Oh, yeah? Is your nickname in college or whatever? Yeah, I'm tossed up between playing the Hypothermia now and holding it.
To get more value, yeah.
Yeah, to get more value. It's weird because you're like not playing the Arsenal, like kind of not having Arsenal, and like you're playing these like short card, like low card hands. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Stop. I think that's maybe a part of the game plan.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. You try and play 5-card hands into Iyslander, you will get punished. So you want to get the value out of your cards as best as possible. And sometimes that means actually like trading down value.
I'll take this. 21.
I have going in. Any response to the chamber?
No.
Okay, alright, 21.
But this could be a mistake for me, but...
I'm going to load up my items.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just going to come in for 2.
Okay, I'm just going to sink that.
Okay. Any use of the sink?
No.
Okay, alright. I'll just Arsenal past you.
Alright, Tunic up. Play Ice Vein, fuse it.
Then Insidious. The Insidious is the last card in your hand, right?
Yes. Coming in for 5.
My hand does kind of suck.
It's a bummer because I'd really like to get this Insidious set up, but I think I'm going to pitch it to Waning Moon.
I'm going to take the 5 here, and then I'm just card this red Ice Speed Impact.
Yeah, 30. And I'll swing the Waning Moon for 2.
Yeah, I'll take it. 28.
Okay.
My hand definitely isn't full of reds. Not at all.
It's okay, I've been there actually a couple turns ago.
Alright, I'm going to play Throttle, pitching Yellow Zipper hit and boosting, and triggering the last on this.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, coming in for 8. Trying to go tall. That's definitely the plan against Iyslander. And now Hyperdrive is going to trigger. Any response to the Hyperdrive trigger?
Maybe.
Okay. Let me know, because it's going to give me a resource.
Yeah, maybe.
Speak now, forever hold your blizzard.
Huh. How dare you? It's coming in for 8.
Yeah, for 8. This is definitely the kind of, like, I definitely prioritize these bigger attacks first. I think Throttle's actually the best card in the matchup, to be honest. Hypo. So I get a Frostbite. And then, yeah, that's fine. That resolves. So, come in for 8. I have 1 resource floating.
Just wonder if it's worth me. I think it's gonna be worth for me to take an extra 3 damage just up in the Insidious Chill. I'm gonna block for 3.
Okay. Take 5.
Yep.
Okay. I have no effects, so I'll pass priority.
16. Yep.
This ain't an Achilles crack turn, that's for sure.
Yeah, tunic up. I'll just play this Insidious and pass.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get back tempo, but I don't really have too much life total to work with, to be honest.
What do we think Brendan's running on here? 3 counters on the Insidious, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting, because now obviously Brendan's given us a 5-card hand, but if he's got the correct piece of disruption, which is another hypothermia, effectively, that's the one that we really care about. It'd be pretty devastating. So I think, like, I'm tempted to like pop this Goliath Gauntlet, but I think we're ahead enough that we just want to make sure that we don't get completely blown out, and we can disrupt him back if he does do something. So I'm gonna itch and just play the throttle and boost.
Okay. Go ahead and blizzard you.
Okay. I'll pitch this Teclocorn. We'll pay. Do it for us.
Okay.
2 floating.
Yep.
That was from Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
Huge. Okay, cool. So we know that, yeah, no more disruption to come.
You're running out of life total.
Also, sorry, there's going to be a trigger on Hyperdrive here.
Sure.
Very
but
reasonable.
miss trigger, so no.
Okay. Hey, button.
Sir.
I like that we're actually quite tame compared to our usual testing banter.
That's because I'm dying.
It's because we try and keep our YouTube channel free of swearing for the most part.
Jeez.
Not that we actually monetize YouTube. We could probably swear away if we wanted to be honest.
So how much damage can Hayden pump me for here? Okay, I'm gonna block for 2 and gain a life.
Okay, so you go to 17 and then you take 4.
Yep. 13.
Okay. Great question. How much can I pump you for?
Please, not too much. It's my pivot turn.
Yeah.
Do
you have how many cards in hand?
3.
3 cards. So we can reasonably expect an 8th Iyslander to come our way, I think. So I think I'm gonna
cheater.
Go big on this turn if I can. Yeah. So there's a temptation. So I have the Spark of Genius. It doesn't matter because Brendan can't really interact with it anyway. I have the Spark of Genius in Arsenal. I was tempted this turn to go and get another Teclo Pounder, but I think the game is actually going to be decided in these next two turns whether Brendan can swing back tempo. So I'm going to opt to not do that. Instead, I'm going to pay 2 resources breaking the chain to Teclo Foundry. We'll see High Speed Impact and Throttle. You have a Teclo Core to go and get, right? 1 boosted. I pitched 1 last turn, right? Yeah, cool. Okay, so break up to 3 resources. And then I'm gonna play the Spark of Genius now.
Okay.
You know, one of my favorite plays. I thought I pitched a Teclo Core last turn. I didn't. I pitched it this turn, obviously, but there's still 1 left.
And you just wait.
I'm gonna pop the Achilles.
Yeah.
After I draw my card. Just go for bigger turn as possible here.
Yep.
Draw a card. Yeah. I was like, don't draw blue. Sorry. We get our action point back. And then this also insulates us a bit of the 8th Ice Vein turn next turn as well, potentially, which is nice. Counter on pistol and come in for 2.
Yeah, no blocks. 11.
Yeah, I go again.
Yep.
And then yeah, I just want to present damage.
Imagine. Yeah. Oh god, I haven't even been thinking about Pulse Wave Harpoon all this game. I was just like,
yeah, the card's really freaking good. It's chain link though, right? So as soon as I break the chain link, it's like...
definitely. But I wasn't even thinking about this entire game.
Definitely worth consideration. Often. All right, let's play Zipper Hit and Boost. It's a Pulse Wave Harpoon. There you go. It's a blue.
I'll take 3.
Yeah. 10?
8.
Oh, 8. Yeah, sorry, I missed the 2 off tick load plasma.
It could be 10. It could be 10.
I'll load the pistol, not coming for 2.
Yep, 6.
Right. Over to you, Arsenal.
Tunic. Yellow Aether Ice Vein, pitching Ice Bolt, fusing CLF. Insidious Trill Trigger.
A CLF? Okay. So we know what's coming next turn. That's the nice thing about... Okay, let me think. So we have 2 resources.
Yeah, I think that my current state of the game and why I'm so far behind is I took a couple non-optimal plays, like took a few low value plays in that early game to try to get the hypo.
Yeah. Yeah, the hypo was interesting. Like, I didn't really give you a turn to give full impact, which is weird because the play I talked about where I thought I misplayed with the spark, which I still feel like I did, if I kept that hand, that was like an optimal hypothermia turn for Brendan, I think. I kind of got paid off for the misblock. Because you can respond to this trigger because it's start a turn, right? Yeah. Beginning of action phase rather, not start a turn. Which is annoying.
I might, maybe I'll play CLF.
Maybe.
Maybe. I feel like my only way back into this game is just to like roll Aether Ice Vein on you for 3 turns.
Yeah,
like,
I agree. That's why I'm gonna play this way. I'm gonna discard Jumpstart.
Okay, for the Insidious, and then
and then I'm gonna take 4 to 24, and I'm gonna discard this payload.
Okay. Pass.
Yep. Wait, but start of my turn there's a trigger, so
yes.
Do what you will.
Response to said trigger.
Yep. Alright, I get a Frostbite. 3 cards. And you have a Tunic. I think Iyslander is always so scary. Like, even though this matchup looks like it's pretty good for me right now. Like, because of Storm Striders and because of...
Yeah, it's just like... Yeah, it's the Striders. Like, if I draw... Like, I play the CLF, I draw a juicy attack action on my following turn, then we hit another Aether Ice Vein. It's just like, oh, maybe some disruption in the arsenal.
Yeah.
Be juice.
I think I need to... myself as much... So get Ticklog in next turn. We should be able to outlive this Channel Lake Frigid after that. Okay, so I'm gonna go for damage, I think is best. So I use these 2 resources plus pitch the Spark of Genius. So to pay 3 for a Zipper Hit boosting.
For how much?
For 5, it's a red.
Okay.
Okay.
Block 5.
Yeah. So if Brendan's going down 2 cards, what this probably tells me is he's gonna pitch to Coronet and keep another card in Arsenal to disrupt me.
Hey, buddy, can you stop doing that?
Hey, trying to help the audience learn the matchup. You know, that's what Arsenal Pass is all
about. Can you stop reading my mind over there?
Okay, and then I'm going to, since we're going for damage, and I don't think Brendan's gonna want to block with one of these cards. It'd be a Coronet peak. I'm just gonna come in with this T-Bone paying 1. No boost.
What are you, like some kind of national champion or something?
X, actually, as it turns out. Alright, down to 3.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Alright, that's it.
Alright, so I'm going to activate my Coronet Peak.
Yep. We're just going to keep that channel around. I wonder if there's a blue Aether Ice Vein. That'd be pretty reasonable. We have 2 resources off this Tickler next turn. We're paying 1 extra for everything we want to do. That's the problem, right? I'm not playing 4 for a Plasma Pistol attack. I'll tell you what. Or 3, rather, I guess.
Oh my god, I'm a 3. If I had 10 more life, I'd be okay. But yeah, 3's a little low.
All right, I'm gonna. I missed the hyperdriver trigger last turn, but I wasn't gonna use the resource, so it's just.
It's okay. Just disqualification.
That is the technical. I think. All right, let's. I'll pitch throttle.
Okay. Yes.
Yep. Trigger on tick local.
Let me think. Trigger on Technocore. How many cards? 3 cards?
3 cards, yeah. You rudely took one away from me.
Gross. Yep, that's fine.
Okay, 2 resources.
It's actually...
Okay. High speed impact, paying 2, boosting. The yellow's up a hit, so coming in for 4.
2 cards in hand.
2 cards.
Coming in for 4. Huh. Thinking.
Yeah, there's definitely lines for that Brendan could find in draws that would get him back into this game, but if he has to block with 2 cards this turn, it's going to be pretty good for us, I think.
Maybe.
Brendan just wants to roll 8 Ice Veins for the rest of the game, ideally, and then get me to like 12 and kill me.
Yes. That's the way, dude.
I actually think you're only like 1 turn cycle behind here.
I know, yeah. I think so. Okay, just thinking about this card. Well, at least the Techno
was gone.
Are gone.
Yeah, I could have played the Spark of Genius last turn rather than coming in for 3 with the T-Bone, but I knew you were going to block it, so I wanted the damage.
This feels like
While Brennan's in the tank, ProQuest Season 3 obviously in swing now, or about to start. What's everyone playing? I'd be really interested. We put out a video as well about ProQuest Season 3, about the meta and decks to play, but what decks are people actually playing this ProQuest season? And is anyone jumping on the dash list? Love to know. Bringing me a lot of joy and armory promos.
It's crazy. I actually have like so many lines here.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's that way when you have Channel like Frigid out on one counter, when you have the Insidious out as well. There's often so many lines. You have Tunic counter up as well, which is often huge.
Yeah.
Making plays. As well, drop in the comments. Me and Brendan might try and find more time to play some matchups of the ProQuest and Calling season. So if there's a particular matchup you'd like to see, let us know. If it's in our wheelhouse, you know. I'm sure Brendan would love to play Dromai.
I can't get pumped this turn. That's the hard part. But yeah, we're gonna block for 3.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a temptation to like Striders that or something.
Oh no.
Okay.
Not Striders, not yet.
All right, take 1. It's usually correct, I would say. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, pitch this blue, and pay 2 to put a counter on this pistol. Any response?
2 to put a counter on this pistol.
So 1 floating.
That's fine.
Okay. And then, so the reason I want to use pistol here is we can keep this card and anything causes Brendan to have to deal with this. Which means taking any card out of his hand. So I'll pay the last 1 and come in with pistol.
Okay, I'll block Coronet Peak.
Yep. And then I'll ask you. And this way that I can keep a card in Arsenal, which I'm really keen to do because I feel like we're probably going to face down an 8th Ice Vein here. Alright, what else?
You will not face an 8th Ice Vein, actually. I was planning to block with my other card, so...
I mean, you can swap it if you want to keep that peak. Up to you.
No.
We tested.
I made that choice deliberately.
Gotcha.
And you chose not to attack with the
card in hand.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'll play
up to 3.
For 3. Yep.
I mean, I'm definitely going to be using my Tickler Foundry Heart here. The reason I didn't use this earlier is I could have used on the Scar potentially, but I wanted to block the card. And then any turn before that, I don't want to keep Brendan in the life total that could get... Like, if there's a chance he can go above me, I want to take that. I want that. So that he turns off his effects.
Yeah, so it's very sloppy for me. I've IP'd myself twice, but yeah, I just need to play this match a bit more so I can figure out how to prioritize my cards. I'm holding stuff too much.
Channel Lake Frigid is going to go this turn, so I want the max I can do. Another Channel Lake Frigid would be pretty painful. We've seen 2 so far. You didn't pitch one, did you? No, just 2 so far. Okay, I'm going to block for 2 and take 5. Okay. 19.
Yep.
I think with the card I have in hand, we can play around Brennan's best piece of disruption. So let's see how we get on. All right, I'm going to pitch a zipper hit and play High Octane. Any response?
You dog, dude. Come on.
One of the best cards in the matchup.
Bro. Like, only holding this the whole time. Oh, that's so gross. Yeah, because like that was the. I feel like that was the only way I was gonna pivot on you. Is like give you like a. Yeah.
Just take my whole turn away. Yeah, it's worth noting if I didn't have the High Octane, my play would have been block with 2 cards. Just preserve life and get through Brendan's disruption. Because eventually he's going to have a turn of no disruption and we'll be able to push through lethal. I'm going to draw a card, yeah? Or do you want to respond with Hypo?
Every time you boost, you gain an action point?
Correct, yeah.
I think I'm just dead, right?
I mean, it depends, like, what I have, right? Like, I actually think if you're able to hold this hypothermia here and block out the attacks I play into you, then you might be good.
Yeah, I'll say you're good.
I don't think you can play the hypothermia here. Well, it's hard because of the Teklo Plasma Pistol, right? But you can also play it in response to my first attack.
Yeah.
But maybe you do have to play it, actually, because if I have enough resources to Teklo Plasma you multiple times, that's going to be pretty tough. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and break the Goliath Gauntlet, since I'm confident that even a Hypothermia wouldn't crush me. A Channeling Frigid hasn't been played, it would have been played on the High Octane.
Yeah, High Octane is the card I really didn't want to see.
Yes, it's pretty good in the matchup. Alright, I'm going to pay 2 to come in with Jump Start for 7, and I'll boost. Any response to the attack? The way Hypothermia works with boost is you pay the additional cost, but before the card resolves, if you play the Hypothermia, it retroactively hits the card.
You have 2 resources floating?
I do.
I'm at 3. So block there. Only block 2 pistol.
You're on the awkward 3. So Tunic doesn't really help.
Yes.
I'd be surprised if you... I feel like you have to flip Hypothermia here, right?
Yeah, that feels like it's...
Well, because if you don't flip Hypothermia, right? So 1 boost attack, if I had another boost attack, I now can shoot pistol 3 times. I haven't activated Tickler Heart.
Yeah.
But I guess you could activate it later in the chain? I don't know. I guess you could. Depends what I want to do here. Yeah, I guess you could activate it later in the chain. That's true. And maybe I misplay. Like, maybe I misplay and, like, come with pistol and don't put a counter on my chamber and get punished for it when you flip the Hypothermia or something. I'm not going to do that, by the way. But I think you can catch people out like that.
Wait, what was the misplay?
No. I'm saying that, like, so I think in this game situation, I think the correct play is probably not to Hypothermia the jumpstart. It's probably to wait and see if your opponent then plays another boost card that you can block, and then all of a sudden they go, okay, counter on pistol, come in, and then you can Hypothermia that. I don't know. It doesn't really work, to be honest, because the go again's off. They still have 2 action points at that point.
Yeah, I blocked for 5. Take 2.
Yeah, you need, it is correct in response to the jump start because it stops the go again, I think. But up to you. I'm not trying to make plays for you. I'm just talking it through.
I'm pretty sure I lose either way. So like, it's tough because
Hope I have nothing.
I just come down to the scenario. It's like, okay, if let's say you don't kill me, if I keep the hypo, it's like the only way to actually flip the game.
Okay, I'm gonna play 0 to 60 and boost. So
is that for 4?
It's for 3.
3 is pretty awkward.
I have 2 additional action points now from High Octane. Plus I'm gonna get go again.
The tunic.
Yeah. Okay, and then I'll break the chain. Use a resource and put it on Pleasant Pistol, and then come in for 2. So I went up to 3 action points down to 2. Yeah, okay, I have a Frostbite. Still have 2 action points.
I'll block for 2.
Yep. And then I will ditch my 0 to 60 to Teklo Foundry. So I have 1 floating currently, and then up to 3. I use 1 of it on the pistol. Use an action point, so I have 1 action point left after this, coming for 2.
I just have jazz hands. So
yeah,
I'm
okay,
dead.
yeah. All right, another return to gameplay for Arsenal Pass, something we haven't done in a little while. A matchup I think we're going to see quite a bit over this ProQuest and in the season heading into the callings, Dash versus Iyslander. With this matchup, it's pretty interesting from the Dash side. I think, you know, with the deck that I'm playing, this is the Hanabi Blaster with a sideboard plan of Induction Chamber, Teklo, Pleasant Pistol. A lot of people play more of this items, which I think is fine. I would just play items in this matchup. I think items are really important in this matchup. It's how you saw me double block with a card, with 2 cards, and then play an item. I think that's how you build up equity and you find your windows in this matchup. So preserving your life total is pretty important as Dash. I think some of the other cards obviously saw the impact of how good High Octane was in that final turn. I only play 1 on my list, but if you are expecting a lot of Icelanders, I would play more High Octane. My kind of thought is I'm not expecting as many Icelanders, and I think 1 is enough because eventually you will draw it in these long, prolonged games. Teklo Core, as I said, these resources, this and Teklo Pounder is so important. And then these big attacks, these go tall attacks. That's the thing that's really good against Iyslander is going tall. That's why I really like Teklo Pounder as well. Because if you can go tall, then especially on the first chain link, like Red Throttle, I think is like maybe the best card in the matchup because you just go, okay, Red Throttle, and then they're either leaking damage, even if they want to present you with a disruption element, or they're blocking with cards and they probably can't then roll that into keeping a channel like Frigid around, plus an Arsenal card, etc., etc. So, yeah, pretty good. I like these cards a lot. That's why the jump starts staying as well, even though it's 1 less damage.
Yeah, so on my side, I think I probably played 2 turns, at least incorrectly, and that put me about a turn cycle behind. And like Hayden said, like the hardest part for me as Iyslander against the Dash deck was against a sort of traditional aggro deck from what we've seen in previous metas, or you'll see in this meta as well with the Fives and the Briars that will likely show up. It's like if I'm banking on my disruption to sort of stifle my opponent, it's pretty reliable, I guess. Like I play it and it affects their turn. Like the thing with Hayden was like, okay, I've prioritized putting the hypothermia in my arsenal to really shut him down on like a big turn, but then he just plays a 2-card hand and plays a throttle for 8. It's like, it's tough. So that's what makes it hard, is because they do have the ability to go wide, so that disruption that you have in your deck is very premium. But at the same time, you saw Hayden play it in a way where the turns where I was sort of even, maybe playing a lower value line in order to keep a hypothermia in arsenal for a upcoming big turn that I was expecting, I just got like throttled for 8 or something like that. That was really hard to deal with, to be honest.
Yeah, the Iyslander has like a really high skill curve to playing it, but I think it also has a pretty high skill curve to play against it as well. I think if you can learn to play against it and disrupt it in the right ways, you take a lot of the sting out of the disruption of their deck and force the Iyslander to play with these cards that are, have less value, start to have to block with their 2 defense cards, start to have to turn their hypothermias into, like if your hypothermia turns into a frostbite plus your opponent being stuck with 2 cards in hand and you leaked damage the turn before, you've traded up on your hypothermia massively. But if your hypothermia turns into, what we saw there, leak 2 damage and give your opponent a frostbite and nothing else really because they just sit the other card in arsenal, they're trading down the hypothermia. And that's what you're trying to do as the opponent into Iyslander, is make those cards, those disruption elements, and their damage less relevant if you can. So that's the matchup. It's one I think we're going to see a lot, Brendan. You're glad you got some games in of testing. I'm looking forward to hearing. I think we're both playing Iyslander this first week of ProQuest, although I might audible to Dash. We'll see. I'm actually judging on the Saturday, and we'll see what I play on Sunday. But thanks for playing, Brendan. And until next time, we'll see you in the next video.